Anna Delvey. She faked her way into multi-million dollar runs with absolutely nothing except for her confidence. You, on the other hand, have actual skills and you're still downplaying yourself. Let's talk about that. Last week, we talked about Inventing Anna, the Netflix series. If you haven't seen it, go watch that show and then listen to the last episode. I think that was episode 33. How wild it is that she walked into rooms with absolutely nothing and acted like she owned the place. Meanwhile, you have actual credentials, actual talent, results, and you're still second guessing whether you should even be in the room. Today, we're talking about what happens when you finally decide to step out, when you choose to stop shrinking, because this is one thing that nobody tells you. The moment you decide to be visible, that is when the real work starts. Let's get into it.
Business can feel very personal and not always in a cozy, fuzzy kind of way. I've figured out a few things along the way and I've got the receipts. Join me as we separate the math from the drama, one business at a time. Let's go.
Welcome to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast. My name is Joke. I'll be your host, and I'm so glad you're here. So, today we're going to be talking about when the real work starts, when you decide to be visible. You've made the decision, you're done hiding, and you're ready to step into the next version of yourself. Great, amazing, I'm proud of you. But can we talk about how weird it feels at first? Because all of these things are things that people don't talk about enough. Like you post something and people actually engage. Somebody asks you to speak. A client calls you an expert. And you're standing there like, wait, what? Are you talking about me? Who? Me? That is the gap. And that awkward space where the old you is still whispering, who do you think you are? And new you is trying to answer confidently. And honestly, most people quit right there because this part feels fake. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like you're pretending. But this is what I need you to know. That feeling, it's not imposter syndrome. It is called growth. You're not supposed to feel confident yet. You're supposed to feel like you're figuring it out because you are. You're not pretending. You're not faking it till you make it. You're just working your way through life. And it is expected. All right, story time. When I decided to start getting visible, putting myself out there, suddenly I realized that I needed real headshots. If you Google me, I go way past my real estate days. When I first started, you could tell me nothing. I think I had on this blue dress and my hair was this big because I went to take the photo and it was in the rain and I had no umbrella. By the time I got here, my hair was this puffy. I took my pictures and that's what you see on my Zillow profile. It's still there in the atmosphere. So, anyway, I needed a bio that actually said what I do, not the vague helping people live their best life nonsense. I needed to introduce myself differently at networking events, on calls, in emails, and every single time I had to say it out loud. I'm a business owner, I am a stager, or I am a business therapist. I wrote a book, I run a staging company. I wanted to follow it with but like it's not a big deal. You know how we minimize ourselves and minimize the things you do? You know why we do that? Because I was still carrying the old version of me into neurons. Let that sink in for a moment. And that is the invisible work. Learning how to show as the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. And sometimes it's really hard to meet that person when you haven't practiced enough. So give yourself the permission and the time to practice. You have to subconsciously or consciously actually remind yourself of who you want to become, where you're going, and start acting towards that. Again, it is not faking it till you make it, it is actual practice because everything that you want to do be needs practice.
Hey, quick word before we continue. If you're afraid to start a new venture or you're ready for the next step but not sure how to get there, I want to invite you to join me inside Business Therapy. at jokedurojaye.me. This is where we take it to the next level. We talk it out and map out your next steps so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. jokedurojaye.me. I'll leave a link for you in the show notes. All right, let's get back to the episode.
So, what is the real cost of reinventing yourself? What does it really look like? One, you have to retire the old versions of yourself publicly, and that is so hard. People that used to know you as a person who always said yes, now you're becoming the person with boundaries. And you have to do it publicly. People knew you as the quiet one. Now you're leading the meeting. People knew you as the helper. Now you're the one charging for your expertise. And some of them, they're going to be confused or disappointed or feel weird or a certain way about it. I have people in my life, I had people in my life that I used to be this personal assistant, and then I was this, associate agent that helped people. I was this stay at home mom. And that is the only version of me that they'd ever been exposed to. And once I started stepping out of that version of me, they didn't know what to do with me. They didn't understand it. They couldn't even see it. They couldn't accept it. I actually had somebody that walked up to me one time, like, how is that your little staging business? And I told them that little staging business is thriving so well that I am now the hands-off CEO of the business. It's running without me. And I have this other business and I have this other business because not everybody is going to understand, or not everyone is going to understand the new version of you, but you have to introduce it anyway. People are going to be disappointed, but that is the cost. You don't get to control how other people react to your growth. And you're going to have to update everything. Your LinkedIn, your Instagram bio, the way you answer, so what do you do? You have to come up with your elevator pitch in real time. And that takes practice. And it doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It just needs to be new. It needs to be not the old you, because the old you is not what anybody is buying. The people who used to buy the old you, they're not coming with you to the new you. So you need to come with something new. It sounds small, but it's not, because every time you update something, you're declaring to the world and to the public and to yourself that this is real. This is happening. And then number three, you have to get comfortable being a beginner at your new level, because we all begin at something sometime. I am an expert homestager. I am a serial entrepreneur. I teach people how to do this, how to do that. But I had to start at a new level for each venture, each business, each income stream, everything that I do. I had to go learn and be new at that thing for a time. But you might be great at your craft, but being visible about it, that is a whole different skill. You're learning how to talk about your work without downplaying it, without making yourself feel small. You need to learn how to talk about what you do, your work, without downplaying it, without watering yourself down, because that is how people see you. People can see through things that you're not seeing. So you have to remind yourself, you have to be right in your head. It's all about mindset first. Everything we do is all about mindset. So you have to be that person, believe it first, and then you can sell it to other people. And you're not faking it. I never subscribe to faking anything. And you need to learn to price yourself like the expert that you are. Your friends that are not used to you being the new version of you, they will test you. They will test you with the old price they would normally offer the old you. You have to take up space without apologizing for it. You have to know who you are. You have to know your worth. But your worth will start with owning it, learning it, practicing it, and showing it. And yeah, it is very awkward, but awkward doesn't mean wrong. It just means new. And we can always do new. Once you start doing it, it's no longer new. New is only new when it's new. So here are the things that I've learned that makes it all worth it. The version of you that you're becoming, she's not waiting for permission. She's not waiting for you to catch up. You have to level up. Every time you show up as her, even when it feels weird, you're closing that gap. You're teaching yourself that you belong here. You're building evidence that this version of you is real. And when you feel like you belong here, you feel it first, everybody welcomes you into that space. And one day, probably sooner than you think, somebody is going to introduce you in a way that used to make you cringe. And instead of shrinking, you're going to stand there and be like, yeah, that's me. That is when you know that the work is working. But you have to first work it. So here is what I want you to do right now. Pick one thing that needs updating. I don't like to give people a laundry list of things to do because that's where the overwhelm comes. I want you to pick one thing: your bio, your headshot, the way you introduce yourself, your elevator pitch, your email signature. Just pick one and change that one thing. And I want you to update it to match the version of you that you are becoming. Not the version you were last year, not the version that feels safe, the version that makes you a little nervous, just a little bit in your stomach when you hit publish. It makes you feel like, oh, did I just do that? That is what you need to do. And why does this matter? Because every update is practice, owning your new level, practice being visible, practice believing that you're allowed to take up space. And when the bigger opportunities show up, you already know how to introduce yourself. And when should you do it? This week. Literally now. Because waiting until you feel ready is just another way of staying invisible. And we're done with that. We're done with all of that. You're ready. You're ready for your visibility. You're ready to do the work. You're ready to show up. You're ready to charge what you're worth. You're ready to introduce yourself as the new you. If you're in this gap right now, the weird space of becoming, of navigating, of trying to show up before you feel ready, and you need someone to help you navigate it, that is why I created business therapy. That's what it's for. And it's not because you're broken, but because doing this work alone is harder than it needs to be. If this episode made you realize that you've been carrying the old version of yourself into neurons, if it gave you permission to feel awkward while you grow, if it reminded you that visibility is a skill and you can learn, then please share with someone who needs to hear it too. And if you're in this weird gap right now and you need someone to help you navigate the visibility, that is what business therapy is for. Not because you're broken, but because doing the work alone is harder than it needs to be. And yes, we can do hard things, but we don't have to. It's a wrap.
You've been listening to the Creative Business Mindset podcast, produced and edited by the Media Designers. I'm your host and favorite business therapist, Joke Durojaye. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. It's a wrap.